Well, it's an hour into the Des Linden world record attempt in the 50K out in Oregon. They say there's no internet out there, which is just so bizarre. You know, they had the Galen Rupp and Jordan Hasse half marathon record attempts out there. So I guess I get it. Not really sure why in the world you would put on a event like this then in a place where you had no internet. I myself, this is their first foray into ultra world. I've been in the ultra world for about 10 years now covering it, and we got some pretty remote locations. I mean, granted, well, even Barkley marathons, people were able to tweet. They, don't have any that type of stuff. So I'm not really sure why they can't have, like, someone did post that there is some internet at the start finish line. Why they can't just be updating the chip timing mats. I mean, we were at a race this weekend. I was in there was live online. So very, very strange. So let's just go to Twitter and see what's going on, at least some things. Jonathan Gold says special things happen when Des Linden races in a jacket. So the only thing we've seen so far is there's a video of the start, and Des is definitely wearing a jacket. So if we scroll up here, some person, Adrian Scott, says, amateur stat geek, a bit of fun. I exploited the Dixon approximate 5K splits from her world record and Brasso 2019 on a 4.5 loop to see how Des Linden is going to do today. And they just posted up a picture. So the splits were kind of like 18:45 for 5K, 37:30 for the 10K. So about 18:45 pace. And then, of course, hitting the 40K at about 2:30. And they were saying that the record was about a 2:38 marathon. So if you go on Twitter, on my Twitter feed, I've been posting these things. You can kind of look at this guy's chart. Of course, you can't really add to it because, like I said, there has not been any kind of information whatsoever. I did at least post I asked around, and we're using the hashtag DesLinden50. I'll put it here. 50K as going to be the hashtag. Interesting that Brooks running to do a hashtag or anybody else do a hashtag. It's just very strange that these big companies kind of run things this way. But I guess that's the way it is. This lady, Sarah Butler, put, there is no service at the 6.5 kilometer point, almost back to the start. So you have to drive back all the way to Tweed. Just FYI. Here's an elite fuel station, Oregon countryside, and they just show as a standard table with some bottles on there. It's even stranger, like they couldn't find a couple people to man the aid stations. I mean, you just get on the internet and say, hey, we're here, we're trying to set a world record. I mean, people will drive out there just to be there. I mean, I don't live anywhere near Oregon, but there's lots of ultra runners and runners in Oregon that would have probably showed up and helped out, or some locals or something, but very, very, very strange. So, and then Treeline Journal wrote, so it's an out and back course. Someone just needs to literally go live on Insta and lean their phone against a tree. We'll take it, and definitely would. And that's what we often do at a lot of the races that I go to. Someone will have an iPad, and they'll just put it at the start-finish line on these multi-loop courses. And then, of course, I was just watching the Black Canyon race where my friend finally qualified for Western States Lottery. It's a 100K race out in the middle of the desert. They had live coverage the entire race. They were flying drones. Sure, they lost cell service from time to time, but I guess it's kind of really a low-key event. It's kind of interesting how they did, like I said before, hyped up the event about them going for the record, but then the coverage is very minimal and very sparse indeed. Kind of got spoiled, I guess, with the Marathon Project coverage, where they covered that marathon back in December, where a bunch of Americans went under 2:10, 2:09. And then, of course, Walmsley's 100K record was really nice. Granted, those are not as remote places. They had wall-to-wall coverage for 6+ hours of Jim going for the record and then just missing it by seconds. So I guess just this is the way they want to do it. Very, very unusual. I will do another update in probably another hour at the 2-hour mark. Maybe we'll get some splits. Maybe we'll get some sort of information. But I'm refreshing the feed, and I am just not seeing anything. And in fact, I'll look on here. Yep, solid start. Brooks running. Hey, Brooks Runner reposted the only video we've seen. Very, very strange. So check back later, and maybe we'll actually have some more information on the world record attempt. Granted, it's early stages, only an hour in. Looking based on her splits, the old record's 3:07. It looks like she's trying to break 3 hours.